Hello and welcome back to another command block tutorial. Today's video, we're going to be making a quick force field, as you can kind of already see by these particles around me. This was actually something that was suggested to me on a live stream. It was basically, I asked for suggestions and I was going to make whatever the chat voted on. So if you guys ever want to be part of that live stream, have your suggestions made live with commands later made into a tutorial, make sure to keep an eye out for the live streams. But let's get right into it. So as you can see by this demonstration, this force field is quite effective. Actually, now they're all shooting each other, that's great. But basically what happens is that any projectile that tries to get to me, whether it be a projectile or even a mob, they're just going to get pushed away. So it's really effective for staying alive. As you can see, all these arrows are bouncing off my invisible force field. And this is all powered by the fact that I have a soul lantern in my inventory. In fact, if I were to drop this, immediately my force field goes away. As soon as I pick it up, my force field comes back. It's quite a neat little contraption. It's going to basically keep you safe, and similarly it pushes other mobs away. So if there's a mob within range of you that's trying to melee you, you can push them away with your force field. Now it works if you're having the soul lantern anywhere in your inventory, but as soon as you drop it, the particles are going to go away and the effect of the force field is going to go away. As soon as you pick it back up, immediately all these arrows are bouncing off, all the mobs are bouncing off, you get the idea. But the nice thing is, you can still get close enough that you can actually melee these guys without them being able to hurt you. So it's a really cool force field that leads to a lot of arrows. Nice thing about this contraption though is it's actually quite easy. As you can see here, we don't have that many commands, and most of the commands here are actually exclusively for the particle effects, and the command that's for the actual force field effect is just this. So if you maybe want to have the force field without wanting to do the particle commands, it's literally a single command. So without further delay, let's see what that one command is. It's pretty simple. All that we're doing here is we are executing at a player that has the soul lantern item in their inventory, and we're basically going to be checking for any entity within 4 blocks of the player. Remember, it's a player holding a soul lantern in their inventory. Within 4 blocks, anything that's not an armor stand, that's not a player, that's not an XP orb, and it's not an item, it's just going to be teleported backwards while facing the player. So it's basically just going to push anything that's trying to get to you backwards. It's really that simple. And I mean, you can easily see this, like, if I summon this guy in, he's going to basically be looking at me and just teleport backwards. No, it's a very effective force field, but also relatively simple at the same time. That's it though. That actually is it. That's all you need. If you guys want to do the force field, just copy this command right here. But in case you want to have these fancy particle effects that I have, it's kind of rotating set of circles around me, this is how we're going to do it. What we're actually having is whenever this soul lantern is in my inventory, there's actually an invisible armor stand. As you can see, I'm kind of breaking it out right now, and this armor stand is rotating above me. It's teleporting above me at all times. Now it's breaking and being replaced because what's happening is that if I have the soul lantern but there's no armor stand, it's going to go ahead and summon one in, as you can plainly see here. But also, as soon as I don't have the soul lantern, the armor stand's gone, and now it's back as soon as I pick it back up. So we basically have some stuff that's going to be summoning in the armor stands. That's going to be these commands right here. Then we have some commands that are going to be teleporting it in place above the player, and then also teleport commands that are going to let it spin in a circle, as you can see here. And then we have 4 different particle commands that are actually going to give it the particle. So let's look at the summon commands first. All we're doing is for any player that has a soul lantern, unless there is already an entity within 6 blocks named forceF, which is the name of the armor stand, just summon an armor stand named forceF above the player. It's really this simple, guys. Then for anything named forceF, if there is no player within 5 blocks that has the soul lantern, it's going to kill itself. This is how we get rid of it if I'm no longer holding the soul lantern. Or if for some reason the player moves too fast and it would summon a new one anyways, it's going to kill the old one first. And then finally, we're just going to be giving invisibility because we don't want to see the armor stands. It's that simple. Next up, we're going to have the TP commands. So the first one is just going to be constantly teleporting it over the nearest player that has a soul lantern. It's just going to be teleporting right above the head. Then we're going to have a similar command that's going to be teleporting it in place, but it's using this facing command right here. That's going to make sure that it's just always rotating. If you want to make it rotate the other way, make this a -1, and you'll see, okay, now they're rotating the other way. Entirely up to you guys, up to your choice. Finally, we have the particle commands, and this is actually 4 commands, but it's 4 of the same commands. All we're doing is checking for the force field. We're going to be running the skulk sensor redstone particle, and we're going to be going down 3.5 blocks, so that's fixing the height, and then we're just going to be going out 2 blocks. Simple as that. The next command is exactly the same, except it's -2, so that's going to be basically the particle that's in front of you and the particle that's behind you. Next up, we're doing the same thing, except we have 2 at the front, so this is going to be basically putting it off to the left side. And then this one's going to be putting it off to the right side. What this ends up meaning is that you have 4 particles that are always rotating around you at all times, based on the armor stand. And that is it. This was, like I said, something that was requested on a live stream. It's a pretty simple build, so hopefully you guys can really easily add this to your own world and mess around with it, because it's really fun. As always, guys, if you have any questions, do feel free to leave them in the comments, but it's better if you guys join our Discord, the link for which you can find in the description. And once again, to reiterate, this was something that I did on a live stream that people voted for. They gave me ideas and we voted on the best one, so I made what the people wanted. If you guys want to be part of that live stream, if you guys want to watch me make these live, as well as vote and make suggestions on the creations that I'm making and later making in tutorials, make sure that you're just following me, that you're able to see my live streams. I kind of do them at random times. I don't usually plan them out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, find this informative, and bye.